What should you do with your money during a recession? Well, it's fascinating that we're in one. Officially, we've been in it since July of 2022. What are you doing? Put it in the comments below. I want to know what we're at right now. You know, I've been traveling a lot. My daughter's going to camps. I go out and see my son in DC. And it's fascinating the amount of people that are out. You would never think there's a recession, but what are you doing with your money? Are you blowing it? Are you putting it away because the tide's going to roll and you're going to wish you did some strategy? So let's talk about 3 things to get that strategy ready. Number 1, how to protect your money during a recession. Number 1. Number 2, the strategies that can yield a positive result. And do you have any plan for it? Because you can't just turn on some of these strategies the morning the news wakes up and the market crashes again. You have to have some pre-planning and some thinking to this. And number 3, the absolute wrong things to do that a lot of people do. And I can tell you why they do them. Is because you just don't know anything and you're listening to the bathroom wall called the internet. Too much content out here is completely wrong. A lot of it is completely right. Due diligence is not something you do out here in the internet called the bathroom wall. So let's begin. Yes, we are in a recession. We're in the highest interest rates we've seen probably in most of our lifetimes, and we have inflation that's not going down. And I don't see any of this, and I have world-leading economists leading me so I can lead you. This presidential election, wherever in July, a year and many months before an actual vote, is there this many people out and campaigning already? It's shocking. I have a lot of political analysts who are not only friends of mine, but clients of mine who say it's completely the wrong strategy. They're coming out too soon. And a lot of people would say because of this lovely thing called social media, they're coming out just in time. Don't know, that's not what we're talking about. But the recession and inflation are not going away until something changes. This is economic and politically driven. So number 1, specific actions to take during a recession. So what you should be doing right now, I'm actually going to read these because they come straight from some of my most brilliant team I ever know and who lead me. Are you diversifying your portfolio? So are you in iFlip? I'm going to give you a gift. It's a software that I use. I've used for years. We beat the market every year. The best thing it does, they're smart folios. It's AI driven. It pulls you in and out of the market before it drops. So those of you who lost 30% in 2020, I lost 2.78. Those of you who, again, and then you gained in 2021, and then your financial planner and your broker was right because you're in for the long haul. Yeah, but you lost 30%. You know how long it takes to make that back up? Then in 2022, it went down another 22 to 28%. I didn't lose any. I was out in cash. If you're not managing it, are you really parking your money and praying with somebody else to handle it for you? So diversity is critical. Real estate is always in wealthy people's portfolio. Some people would say it's a great market. Some people would say it's a bad market. I'd say it's a zip code market. There are good deals all over this country. Now, there's a few states just overall, given some new laws that just came out about squatters' rights, that I would avoid ever living there. California would be number 1. Now, you can live there, but I wouldn't have rental income there because they have a 12-month squatter opportunity. So they can move in and squat for 12 months, which means you don't make any money because they don't have to pay you rent. And there's no recourse. So not a great place to do it. Idaho has a 3-month squatter. So just go dig into that before you go buy real estate and think you're going to rent it. And guess what? You know what I'm curious about? Comment if you actually know this. Can you squat in an Airbnb if you rented it long enough? I wonder how those states handle that. I'll tell you, it's a big deal. As you diversify, though, think of other things. Like crypto markets and NFTs are kind of not a thing, but really, they're still in the undercurrent. They're still around. There's still some interesting little opportunities around. Are you in depreciated assets? So depreciated assets are things like gas and oil, aviation, obviously real estate, mineral water rights, those kinds of things. If you have just investments that create capital gains without a depreciation schedule, you end up with tax problems. So please let me help you educate you on how to do this. Now, the first thing I want you to do as you start thinking about working with us or what we do is go take my financial personality quiz. We just updated it. It's super cool. It's going to put you into one of 4 traps, one category that you're trapped in. And then from there, we can give you more, distinct guidance. And then there's a second link for a strategy session that will follow up with you. And you can talk to one of our team members about what you're currently doing for the diversification of your portfolio. And for those of you who don't have any money put away, I would be really concerned because you're missing all the compounding power of money. The last thing I want to say about diversity is cash and liquidity. How many of you have cash and liquidity, meaning how fast can you get your cash? In iFlip, which is software I gave you an opportunity to go get, you can have 48 hours in your back liquid. And you've already been pulled in and out. While you're in cash because the market's super volatile, it just holds there. My son goes in and he'll do some options trading while it's sitting in some of those positions, so you can do some cool stuff over there. Number two, how do you utilize strategies to really do some protection? So number one, you want to look for underserved asset markets. Again, look for those real estate markets where there's going to be potential growth. There's a huge foreclosure market coming because the banks are going to call notes. I know some large firms who are putting together large amounts of cash to buy a combination of that real estate from banks. So it's coming. It's going to hit you harder than you think, especially those of you that lived on a coast and you moved in from California to Idaho, California to Texas, Seattle to Texas, New York to Florida, wherever you've moved, and you overbought because you were desperate in 2021 to get out of those coastal states and get inland, and you are the people we're talking about. I know personally because we've sold to a lot of you, right? We were selling houses at $300,000 and $400,000, and by the end of that great run, we were selling houses for $500,000-$600,000. They're back down to $300,000-$400,000 where they belong, and now you got an overpriced mortgage. So a lot of that's going to be expensive foreclosures, but it's coming. So pay attention again in cash. You say, well, I don't have cash. Well, then start a business. One of my favorite things to do in a recession, and some of the wealthiest people that have ever walked the planet have taken advantage of volatile markets and down markets. Some of the greatest businesses, including Amazon, all of Virgin, all of Richard Branson stuff, all came out of a recession. They came out of a really rough time, and you're solving a problem that a lot of people need, and you get back into business. So all of you can create extra cash because, believe me, people are spending it still, even though it's a recession. So where I want you thinking about getting positioned for a recession is get as much cash as you can, start positioning for diverse assets as soon as you can, and actually get a plan. Now, if you don't know how to do that, that's what we do. Go to askloral.com, ask a question, make a request, and we'll talk to you about how we can help you look at your problem, how are the solution, and solve it. And before I go to the last and final strategies, subscribe to my channel. Be here 5 days a week. Click that notification button. So when it pops in on your phone, actually watch the video. What a novel concept. So don't just, delay and say, I'll do it later. It's only 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 12 on some of my longer videos. And we have a journal coming out very soon. We're going to do by the end of the summer, where it'll be a YouTube journal of the lessons you're learning through the channel on what are you learning, what are you going to do about it, so you actually can have that as a basis of a plan of where your gaps are from where you see it. How I'm going to see it's probably different, but at least you have some base analytics of who you are. So back to the topic of where do you put your money during a recession? Well, third topic in here is the pitfalls and what not to do. So what not to do is panic. Now, that's hard for you when you're really uneducated. See, the only reason people panic or do really quick moves is because their friends are doing it. Oh, that's fascinating. So let's follow your friends and family as a strategy for success. Probably not a great idea. And it's not about your emotion of it. It's you don't have any knowledge. So I want you to be here. I'm going to actually credit you $750 towards your next tuition, whatever you decide to do with us, by binge watching this channel for 25 hours. Why? I want you smarter when you talk to our team. I want you educated. I want you to understand our philosophies. I want you to understand when I use the words, are you living corporate life? You could say yes or no. And if you don't know what that is, you need to learn. So binge watch the channel. Have a good time. A few other things not to do. Do not neglect or think you can park your money with somebody else that's managing it and hope to God they do something. You have got to get in front. This is your money. Lead it. Be responsible for it. So many of you pay attention to your job and your busy family, and you let somebody else manage what could be your wealth strategy, overpaid tax strategy, and then a lot of you don't even pay attention to what the potential is for generational wealth. So don't run into panic. Don't run out of fear. Let's get smart, get knowledgeable, and we'll talk more tomorrow.